Mug, episode 320 on Monday the 29th of December 2014, the last of 2014. I am still your host for this year, Stephen Layton. Welcome to In My Mug. Let's go do some news. So news, this you may notice, same backdrop, same clothes. I'm doing this one after another because I'm not coming in over Christmas because I'm very, very lazy. But Happy New Year to you that is coming up. Happy to Christmas that has just gone, but it hasn't for me yet. This time of year we always do our top 10 coffees, and I say ours because last year Roland joined me and we argued it out, and we're doing it again, so do check out www.hasblog.co.uk for more details of that. But yeah, me and Roland bickering over which is our favourite coffee is always fun. And golden tickets finished, finitoed, done, the lot. We are stopping now. We know that we're going to be very, very close to that full. It's going to probably stop over the Christmas period, but definitely going to stop by the time this comes out. So you had your warning last week. And the Bolivias are up. We've got David Vilker up there, and we're going to have a few more up there by the time this goes out. Very excited about what is up and coming with Bolivia. It's going to be good. We've also got like Illimani and a heap of others. Tadacio is back as well. It's been very expensive in Bolivia this year, and I did a talk while I was on the Asia Tamper Tantrum tour about Bolivia that I'm hoping to share with you at some point. I think you'll really like it, but yeah, it's good. And that was the news. So we're not going to focus on this week because I've got a little something special for you at the end, and we're going to fly straight into the coffee. So we talked about last week how something becoming a tradition, and 10 years of Espresso Blend has also been partnered with 10 years of this special Christmas filter blend, only available in December. And in the blend, I always try and encapsulate Christmas. So trying to bring in different parts of Christmas. So last week's was about blackcurrant and spicy and kind of, a little bit of like body and chocolate and things like that, malted milk and that kind of stuff. And this week's it's completely different, where we're looking for a little bit more citrusy kind of liveliness. So we've got 40% of the Kenyan Karigu, the AB washed, which is the SL28 varietal. We've got 40% of the Guatemala Finca El Libano Typica and Catura mix, and then 20% of the San Sebastian Pacamara washed. And what you get in this is like zingy, zesty, lemon, green apple, milk chocolate, kind of all flavours and tastes that remind me very, very much of Christmas. The perfect blend for having it, Boxing Day dinner or Christmas morning, that kind of citrusy, bright, light stuff. And this is going to be the In My Mug for obviously this New Year's week, but hopefully you'll have it in time for Christmas as well, because we are going to do them a little bit early. So no Matt bit again this week, but there is time for Roland's Daft Fact of the Week. In Colombia, Cuba and Puerto Rico, they have a tradition where they stuff a doll, make it dressed up and call it Mr. Old Time, and then on New Year's Eve at midnight they set fire to it. I'm going to set fire to Steve. So yes, the tradition in Colombia is they get Mr. Old Time is like a Guy Fawkes type thing, and they set him ablaze at midnight to burn away all the bad memories of the year. But I don't like the idea of Roland wanting to burn me. That sounds bad. So I'm going to whack you on pause, and I'm just going to go and get a tasty Chemex of this Christmas filter blend, and I'll be back with you in just a moment. Hello, so I am back. I'll be glad when these cards are gone and Christmas and New Year is over. So I have just gone for the brewed because it's the brewed coffee and it seems the right thing to do. And it does exactly what I wanted it to do. It's that lemony, citrusy, lime, bright, acidic, kind of lovely mouthfeel. but there's still that sweetness of the chocolate in there. The Kenya is the dominant part, but the Guatemala is a great glue between the Pacamara. You know, they just really work well together. It is a delicious drink. I'm a big fan of these Christmassy blends because I think about them a lot. I think them, you know, September, in fact, June, July onwards, when I'm buying coffees, I'm thinking, oh, that might go in there well, that might go in there. And this Kenya was definitely one that was bought with this in mind, as was the San Sebastian Pacamara washed. Right, we are done here. Because it's extra short, I'm going to finish off with There Has Been Christmas Carol. I'm not going to be coming back, so if you've seen this already, I don't mind you finishing now. But do remember, life is definitely too short for bad coffee. But if you haven't seen it, do hang on.
On a cold, bleak, biting Christmas Eve, there was once a miserable miser of a man named Scrooge.
Please, good sir, may I have some of your oh-so-tasty coffee?
Bah, humbug. No!
As he retired his cold heart to his cold house, Scrooge had an unexpected spectre arrive. It was the ghost of his late business partner, Jacob Marley.
I'm in turbulent, torrid turmoil, Scrooge. You must change your ways, or suffer the same insufferable afterlife as me. 3 ghosts will visit you in turn as the clock strikes. Listen to them carefully, or face the consequences.
Marley vanished as quickly as he came, and Scrooge was left alone. Pondering the words of Marley, he settled and drifted to sleep. The clock strikes. The clock strikes Scrooge to life as he's engulfed in an eerie fog. What was once a cold, familiar room fills with a cold uncertainty.
What's going on, Marley?
It's the ghost of Christmas past, as Marley had warned Scrooge. No longer in his room, Scrooge is taken to his youth, where he sees his former self surrounded by friends and warmth.
I remember this. I remember this.
The brash block of icy heart within Scrooge's chest begins to defrost at the sight of lost love. Missing his youth and all that goes with those careless days, a lone tear rolls along Scrooge's cheek.
No! Stop this now! I know what you're trying to do.
He closes his eyes, lashing out at a once familiar feeling, and that uncertain fog fills his being. Slowly, Scrooge realises he's back where he came, wondering what will be next. Just managing to settle, Scrooge awaits the next unwelcome visitor. Strike and strike, the clock disrupts the planned solitude of Christmas Eve for Scrooge. Something grabs his attention by the window. As he edges closer, Scrooge is lifted away by the ghost of Christmas present. Full of fright, as they fly fast, Scrooge is shown his miserable coffee-hoarding ways are dragging down the days of many.
If only Scrooge would send me my subscription.
A man at home, unable to kickstart his day, causes Scrooge to gasp.
I'm sorry, but Scrooge just won't give us any coffee.
A coffee shop closing and people turned away leads Scrooge to puff in disbelief.
But the coffee, how can it be? I only wanted
The ghost raises Scrooge high.
Don't! What are you doing? I'm going to fall!
The air rips past while falling closer and closer to the ground. Closing his eyes, Scrooge gets closer and closer until, finally, he opens his eyes. A warming heart back in the cold house.
Please, no more!
As the clock strikes.
Stop! I know what you're trying to tell me!
The room fills with deep, dank darkness. All but Scrooge remains as a shadowy, looming being dwarfs him in terror.
Leave me, please! Leave me alone!
A gravestone emerges from the darkness, grabbing Scrooge's attention.
No! I'm sorry!
A second gravestone raises.
No!
Swirls of darkness disorientate with deathly delusion and despair. Scrooge is shown what lonely future beholds, should his path not be changed.
I will honour Christmas in my heart and keep it all the year. I will live in the past, the present and the future. The spirit of all three shall strive within me. I will not shut out the lessons that they teach.
As quickly as the darkness came, it was light. Scrooge has his eyes tightly closed, afraid of what might be. Scrooge awakens slowly, opening his tight eyes. The realisation it's Christmas morning fills his heart with a once familiar warmth.
I must head out and share. The good folk, they need their coffee.
With Scrooge changing his ways, Tiny Tim had one last thing to add.
Life's too short for bad coffee.